Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jet Life Podcast. My name is Tom Lelio. I'm your ultimate jet guide, and on today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on private aviation with Catherine Wren. And so we're going to be discussing a couple of really interesting topics when it comes to how to just break into aviation. What are some of the pros and cons and things that you've seen in your experience? So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
We're going to do a little walk and talk.
Sure.
Let's see if we can actually make this happen. But please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I was born and raised in a very small town in New Mexico, about 30 miles from the Mexican border and about 90 miles from the Arizona border.
Really? Okay.
I knew nothing about aviation, commercial or business. Didn't even know it existed. I was blessed enough to play Division II college basketball, where a girlfriend of mine actually knew somebody that knew the manager at Business Jet at the time. So I come
This goes back.
Oh yeah, and I'm right out of college. It was maybe 2 months before I was going to graduate, and I came up to Dallas for about a week to stay and had some interviews set up, and then she set me up with some. And my ultimate passion was I wanted to be the next Aaron Andrews. So I did broadcasting, some journalism, PR.
Oh, okay, tell me a little about Aaron Andrews. Sorry.
Sports broadcaster.
Okay.
Typically football. I mean, on the sidelines. So she's the one on the field,
Okay, cool.
talking to the coaches after, or during the games. But anyway, that was my ultimate goal. And like I said, I went to Dallas for about a week and had some interviews set up. I set some up myself and went to lunch. My girlfriend that I used to play ball with knew somebody. She made a call, called Jamie Munoz, who's still in the industry.
Oh my gosh.
Gave her a call and said, "Hey, Erica has a friend that wants to move to Dallas. Sure, bring her in." Hey, at the time, I didn't have a smartphone, so they gave me a GPS
Oh my God.
and her phone
Little
number.
Tom. Show it. Oh my gosh.
And they said, "Go find her." And I said, "Okay." So what does she do? Something with airplanes. I think I am going to left field to apply at Southwest for a flight attendant position.
Oh,
And at the time,
actually.
I know. And at the time, I thought, I'm single. I got no ties. I can travel. So I pull up to this beautiful facility. Walked in, they still the door. I see this chandelier, and I'm like, "This is like a visa." I see all those private jets outside. Anyway, ended up in a very informal interview with Jamie, and she was the brand manager at the time. She gave me the lay of the land as I'm giving her my hopes and dreams of being the next Aaron Andrews. So fast forward, I got a call a week later. I graduated on a Saturday, moved on a Wednesday, started working on Monday. And I
Oh
started
my
out on the
gosh.
flight line. So
That's aviation sometimes. It just kind of happens just like that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you got involved in aviation with no experience before.
none.
Okay. Describe to me what your first year was like.
Scary. I moved to Dallas knowing one person, and I jumped into an industry that I knew nothing about, and I left everything that I knew, 800 miles away. But it was scary and challenging, but I loved every second of it. I could tell very early on this was a relationship-built industry, and that it's all about connection. On top of working with some of the most amazing aircraft and heavy metal out there. So I started out on the flight line, and I was towing, and I didn't fuel and I didn't dump labs, but I did basically everything else out on the flight line. And then I ended up, getting trained at customer service, and then from there, roles started opening up. So I started to become a trainer for CSR, trainer on the flight line, and ended up in marketing. And then here I am in the chief experience officer role, and loving every second of it.
That's amazing. So what advice would you give to someone who is interested in becoming in joining the aviation world, but they don't have an aviation background? They're getting a little bit of pushback from the industry of, well, we'll hire you, but we need aviation experience.
Sure. And I know that's where a lot of this industry is right now is getting good people in, and it really starts with the younger generation. I tell people this all the time, and I even tell my employees, I don't care how much you know or how much experience you have. You've got to have heart, and you've got to have want. And if you have a desire to work hard, you're going to make it in any industry.
Yeah.
This one in particular, yes, there are some regulations and some safety concerns that you've got to get under your belt before you can start making moves. Find a mentor. Find somebody that does not, or that they know something more than you do in a different area to just learn. And it's amazes me the different avenues and the different roles in the industry. And so find somebody who you want to learn from and pick their brain and use them as accountability and as a mentor to keep you on track.
Gotcha. And so now you're in a leadership position. But you're also involved in NBAA's YoPro initiative. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the importance for individuals to get involved in a network, something like an NBAA, and some of the stuff that you're doing with the YoPro.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite topics. And it, again, goes back to those relationships and connections. I am blessed enough to sit on the Young Professionals Council with 25 other young professionals that are powerhouses in every avenue that you could imagine. So I've been on the council for almost 3 years now. And from there, we have grown into so many different avenues to help get back to the community, bring together young professionals on, tips and tricks on networking and how to build your LinkedIn profile. What is your personal brand?
Basics. Yeah.
What does that mean? And really give them a light into this amazing industry and the different opportunities.
Okay. Can you tell us about can you tell us a story about a time where you faced either a failure or just a really big obstacle and what you learned from that situation?
There's many of them.
Right? It's like every day there's some fire to be put out, right?
But it brings me back to my first year at Business Jet when I was 24 years old, starting my career. And, I was jumping, like I said, head first, but into a very male-dominated industry.
Oh, that's true.
And, I learned very quickly through conversations, and I would tell my story, and a lot of the crew members would say, so you moved 12 hours from New Mexico to Dallas, and they all say, oh, for a boy, right? And I said, no, this is for me. This is for my career. And it also makes me think of, I was the first female to tow at Business Jet since 1993 to get fully trained and certified. So, there was some pushback there. I had to ask a couple times, and I basically had to say, hey, I am going to be the best asset for this company if I can learn all the different role areas so I can help. But ended up getting fully trained. But, in that process, there were comments of, oh, we'll see how well she does. And then even comments of, I think you need to stay in your lane. And that fueled my fire even more to be the best employee, not just female, but the best employee that I could be.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you bringing that up because I think, especially as people are getting into aviation, whether it's their first career or not, you're going to face a lot of adversity, and the ability to discipline your disappointments.
Yep.
And I think the mentor is a huge piece.
Yes.
And the network, who you surround yourself with, because if you feel like you're all alone, you're going to feel all alone, and when these things happen, you're going to feel like it's just happening to me and there's no support. But with organizations like NBAA, YoPro, there's resources there to help you through it.
Absolutely. And you got to think of it, we're not recreating the wheel, and I'm not the first female to come through or hit adversity. So finding other women that are like-minded, that have a passion for people and just the industry in general, they help you and direct you in ways how they have overcome certain situations to give you a little light. And so that's what I really hope to help to pass on to the future generation, and especially women in aviation.
I get it. So just a few more questions before we get into the rapid fire questions. But what's one of the biggest, or maybe a few of the biggest mistakes that you see young brokers making or young aviation professionals when they're first getting started in their career?
They want it all and they want it now. And again, experience comes with time. And with that, you build trust with not only your fellow employees, with your management team, but with your customers. You don't build relationships within a day. You don't get a deal done within a day. It's that relationship that once you break down to certain layers, I always say you have to get a few layers in to build trust. And then from there, everything else just flourishes and kind of comes together.
I love that. Yeah, patience.
Yep.
For sure.
Very much.
Okay. All right, so we're in our rapid fire questions. I'm just going to ask you like two quick topics. You kind of pick which one that speaks to you. Doesn't have to be your favorite. Doesn't have to have any reason to it. Or if you want to explain yourself, you're more than welcome to explain yourself too. Okay, so starting off with pizza or steak?
Steak.
Okay. Okay, what is cooked for your steak? I'm just going to
Medium.
Okay.
And give
So
me
you
all
like
the
to burn
sides.
it?
I love,
You like
some
to
say
burn it.
that, but I love all the sides. Give me some mac and cheese, or like a loaded baked potato and a steak, and I'm good to go.
iPhone or Android?
Oh, iPhone.
Yeah, love it. Delta or Southwest?
Southwest, mainly because I have so many friends that work there, and I have so many flight attendant friends, and I get a few free drinks here and there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's some benefits.
Gotcha.
But I love the servant's heart, the customer first mentality from that.
Perfect. Uber or Lyft?
Depends on what promo codes they've got.
Okay. Would you rather $100,000 now or $1,000 a month for the rest of your life?
$1,000 a month for the rest of my life.
Falcon or Gulfstream?
Ooh, this is tough. Probably a Falcon, because if I'm in heels, I can actually stand up straight in the cabin.
Gotcha. You're learning to fly. High wing Cessna 172, low wing Piper.
High wing.
The shade.
Well, yes.
You own a jet. Would you rather own a jet and be the pilot that flies it, or be the owner of the jet and sitting in the back seat?
Sitting in the back.
Nice.
Feet propped up, maybe with my steak.
Love it. Well, Kat, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I really do appreciate it. Where can people find more information or reach out to you if they have any questions on NBAA or YoPro?
Absolutely. So I'm on all social media sites, but on LinkedIn, you can find me at Catherine Wren, and then I can share from there YoPro Go and other YoPro initiatives, maybe get more folks involved.
Perfect. We look forward to your talk later today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.